401ks are so interesting, aren't they? Hi, this is Sebastian Guerra from Guerra Financial Group, and today I want to go through all of the details on how 401ks usually work. You see, most 401ks are usually offered only through corporations. These corporations will usually offer this as an incentive to the employee so that way they can stay longer periods of time. They know that if they offer them more benefits, usually the employee is not going to leave. And these are things that companies don't want to go through. They don't want to go through another hiring process because it's very, very, very expensive. So today what I want to go through is an example on how a 401k usually works. So let's say, for an example, we have right now a person that is making $100,000 per year. And this $100,000, the corporation that we're working for is usually going to offer us a 401k. So inside this 401k, we have the choice of depositing however much money we want on a monthly basis or a bi-weekly basis. So let's say we decide to deposit 10% of our income inside the 401k. Now the company also is going to offer us something called matching. Now, not all 401ks have this option. Not all corporations offer this to their employees. But what they do have is they have a rule that says for every dollar that you put inside, we're going to match you a certain percentage of your income. So maybe the rule might say we're going to match you dollar per dollar up to 5% of your income. So if we have an income of $100,000 and we're going to match you 5% of $100,000 dollar per dollar, what that means is they're going to give us up to $5,000 per year if we have a $100,000 income. Now, if we decided to put in $10,000 or 10%, and they decided to give us $5,000, we now have deposited inside our 401k $15,000 for that given year. Now, very important to understand, if I put in $7,000 or $9,000 or $20,000 a year, that does not mean in any way that they're going to match us up to that same amount. It's usually up to a certain percentage of your income. And some companies might even say, we're not going to match you dollar per dollar. We're going to match you maybe 50 cents for every dollar that you put in up to a certain percentage of your income. Now, some companies might say, we're going to match you up to 6% or 7% of your income. And there's some companies that might say, we're going to match you up to 2% of your income. And then there's some companies which are going to say, we're not going to match you anything. We just have a 401k for you. If you want to put money in it, you could go ahead and do it. Now, these 401ks are usually invested in the stock market. We usually have mutual funds inside our 401k. Now, these mutual funds, it's extremely important to understand that they're not free. They have something called fees. The fees that they have could range anywhere between 2 all the way up to 4% per year. So if we have a 401k with $10,000, we might be paying anywhere between $200 to $400 a year in fees. Now, that's a 401k with only $10,000. Now, can you imagine a 401k with $400,000? How much we're probably paying in fees? It can probably be $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a year that we're paying in fees inside our 401k. So that's why it's extremely important to understand that maybe it's not always the best option to be doing rollovers or leaving our funds inside our 401k. And maybe a better option is to roll over our funds to an account that doesn't have to pay fees. We have more videos that talk about the rollover process and how it works. Now, the other thing that I want everybody to understand is these 401ks, when you start making distributions out of the 401k, it's going to be a taxable event. So if we have inside our 401k, after 30 years of putting money inside, we now have $500,000. And we now take out these $500,000 after 30 or 40 years of putting money inside, these funds are going to be taxable. So if we have taxes up to 50% in the future, out of these $500,000, the IRS is probably going to end up keeping about $250,000 if taxes go up to 50%. And for us, we're only going to probably keep the other difference, which is the other $250,000. So extremely, extremely important to understand how 401ks usually work, and many people make a lot of mistakes simply because they don't know these rules. That's why we offer all these videos so that you could learn, so you can understand all of the details, the ins and outs of them. If you'd like to learn more financial strategies, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.